Thanks for taking the time, come in here, and welcome to the States. How long have you been here?
So I've actually been here since February. So I moved over here to Indy in February, and yeah, I've been back and forth to Europe a few times since then, but most of the time here in the US.
So let's fill the fans in. You were born in Sweden, but moved or grew up in a small island. Is it called a land?
So it's in Sweden, it's Åland. In English, it's Åland Islands. So I was born in Sweden, lived there until I was 12, moved over to this small island in between Sweden and Finland. It's a Finnish island, but we actually speak Swedish. So I'm half Swedish, half Finnish, but I don't speak any Finnish.
What took you guys there?
My mom is from there.
Yeah.
So I have most of my family is living there, and I've grown up there all summers basically. So even though when we lived in Sweden, all of our summers when we were not at the racetrack, we were at my grandmother's cabin on Åland Islands, and all the Christmas have been spent there and so on.
So you're on the small island of 30,000 people. How in the world do you end up in the racing industry?
So I ended up in the racing industry long before we moved there. Basically, I've been at the track since I was 3 weeks old. My parents have been involved in racing. Never raced the same classes as I have, but definitely been at the racetrack. My dad has built engines and worked with teams. So since I was 3 weeks old, I was there. When I was 8, I started racing junior dragster. So that was way before we moved away to this island. So when we were there, getting to go racing definitely took a little more time, so to say, every time, because you had to leave your island and go to Sweden or to Finland or to Norway. But I was already in that circus, so to say, and there was no taking me out of it. So, yeah.
That could have been like what you were talking about off the camera where they handed you the baby at the track. That could have been you.
Yeah,
Could have been you in the middle of it.
could have been, yeah. I think I've seen a lot of pictures of myself when I was a kid laying somewhere with my ear mufflers on, sleeping. So I have an easy time sleeping at the racetrack, no matter how much noise is on. I think that's where it comes from.
I got to tell you, I think that's the first time ever in my life I've heard them called ear mufflers.
I love that. I thought the same thing.